The day's finally come! We're off to meet the Tsaritsa of Snezhnaya! What is she planning? And why does she need the gnosies? Soon, we'll have our answers! Guess this'll be the end of your journey that your sister mentioned. What is she expecting you to find there? Snezhnaya still feels like a long way away. Hopefully, there'll be plenty of time to relax, eat some good food, and have fun before we arrive. But whenever Paimon gets thinking about how our destination is right around the corner, all these questions come flooding into Paimon's head. It makes her so nervous. Yeah. Anyway, enough about all that. We can't start the final leg of our journey with that kind of mindset. Just think. We've fought dragons and sea monsters, defeated creations of the gods, faced prophecies of doom and the threat of the abyss. Heck, we've even been to the moon! With all that experience under our belts, how could we be any more prepared? Sure thing! Now, stick close to Paimon, the best guide you could ever ask for, and let's charge straight for the finish line! Off we go!
What about me? Do I get a call out?
Whoa! Columbina? You kinda snuck up on us there. Don't look at Paimon! Paimon didn't sell you out this time. Oh, so it was you! Alright, guess there's no hiding it now.
All your friends have gathered at the flagship to see you off. I invited Sandrone, too, but she said she had to go back to Snezhnaya. She must be busy. She had some nasty things to say about you before leaving. Would you like to hear them?
She hasn't changed a bit. Alright, let's hear it.
If they're heading to Snezhnaya, I'll bet it's to cause trouble for Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Attending a farewell party for people like that would not be a good look for me right now. Also, please tell them not to count on getting help from a Fatui Harbinger in Snezhnaya. Our time working together was not terrible, precisely, but we're on different sides. So when you get there, don't do anything to make life difficult for both of us.
Well, that definitely sounds on brand for her. The attitude, the reasoning. All right, we'll do our best to keep our distance then.
No, you've misunderstood. I think she means that she'd like you to go see her. As long as you don't make things difficult for both of you, you'll be fine.
Huh. You really have to read between the lines with Sandrone.
Go on, get to the flagship. Everyone should be there by now. I told Lauma that you once treated me to a truly unforgettable meal. Today, I want to return the favor. It's my gift to you.
It's definitely nice to be treated, but hopefully by this point, you know that you don't owe us any favors.
The moon of Nodcry will always give you a warm welcome.
Look! They look similar to the ones in Notcry. You know, just minus the effects of Kuvaki. That's a sure sign that we're officially in Snezhnaya now. There's gotta be a treasure chest around here somewhere. No adventure is complete without a chest or two. Wow! Paimon got a mouthful of snow! Ooh, it's so cold. Paimon's gonna snuggle up to you for a bit to get warm. Hey, check it out! Those are bears, right? Aww, look how big and fluffy they are! So cute! Quick, take a picture before the moment passes. Right here. If we get any closer, we might scare them away. Let's see how your camera skills are these days. Whoa, wait a sec. Paimon sees something! Come on, quick! It looks like a train carriage! Paimon's heard that Snezhnaya has loads of railways and trains! This must be one of them! But why is it abandoned? Ooh, it's still so cold. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. Ooh. Also, is it just Paimon or is the snow getting heavier? Thanks for offering, but this isn't just the weather. It's hard to describe, but Paimon feels so weird. She's never felt like this before. Everything feels heavy. Getting kinda dizzy, too. Oh, no need. Paimon's just feeling a little low on energy. That's all. It's nothing serious. Not worth ruining our travel plans over. Yep, sure thing. Snezhnaya, here we come! Seems like the snowstorm is getting worse by the minute. Paimon can barely fly. Oh, look! There's a cabin over there! Phew! Let's get out of this storm!
What is this place? Where's Paimon? I need to find her fast. Paimon? Paimon! That's strange. Where could she be? I guess I'll try further ahead. Hang in there, Paimon. Is that a train carriage? Maybe I can get up from the inside. A reward on the road. Huh. It says here, Kresnik's torch, civilian model. It's definitely getting a little warmer now it's turned on. I really hope Paimon's okay. A reward on the road. What was that strange sound? I can't tell if... Paimon? Paimon, is that you?
Incoming entity detected. Authorization granted. Initiating original. Hello, Descender, who's reached the eve of tomorrow. Eye of Grey at your service. Time since last activation. Time measurement unavailable due to the influence of... Anyway, it must have been a very long time. I was born to fulfill a mission, to reach tomorrow. To this end, I must... Strange. What was it? Wait, my body? Huh? Why is my body like this? I have been like this since I was created. And yet... I also have memories and an awareness of a physical form that I once had. But this contradicts my current status. Anyway, I was created so that humanity could reach tomorrow. But I am unable to load further details at this moment. Nevertheless, serving humanity remains my primary objective. I have detected a drop in your surface body temperature. You cannot remain active in this state for much longer. In accordance with my preset programming, upon reactivation, I must ask the one who awakened me the following question. Will you accept me, Transcender? I will assist you, protect you, and fulfill my mission until we reach tomorrow. You have made a very wise decision. Now, I detected that you called out a name earlier. Presumably that of your missing companion? The name was Paimon. After helping you get out of here, I will search for a match in the nearby area and pinpoint their location. Merely the tip of the iceberg. Now that we have reached an accord, you will be my new user. May I ask your name? Very well. I will remember this name until the mission is complete. I need to recover my body, retrieve the power to unlock tomorrow, and help the suffering masses to reach the far shores where the empty Ark floats. I can sense my power scattered across this ice-covered land. I even have a vague sense of where it might be found. But right now, that is not essential. The key right now is you. You must survive and reunite with your companion. You may now execute the command, Demolish. Use it to remove the Prime Ice blocking the path and obtain Prime Ice units. Prime Ice unit count has been updated. You may now execute the command, Build. Use it to create a Prime Ice construct to prop up the door.
I'll keep this close.
Scanning local environment. Exit has been sealed off with ice. That would not be an efficient approach. One moment. Usable construct blueprint detected nearby. You can use this to clear the solid ice ahead of you more quickly. Construct blueprint added to records. You may now execute the command, Build Heat Source. Generate a temporary heat source to rapidly melt the solid ice.
Is this an answer from this world? Is this an answer from this world?
My scan indicates the path is straight ahead. I recommend we proceed. Kresnik Crystal located. Please collect at your earliest convenience. The recent construct you built provides highly efficient heating by utilizing the unique properties of Kresnik Crystal. Unfortunately, prime ice constructs have a very short lifespan and cannot be stabilized during the development period. Hence, the authorization to use Kresnik Crystal was granted. That said, I have already forgotten what warmth feels like. Yes, perhaps then we can warm ourselves by the fireside together. But for now, all you need to remember is this. If you collect Kresnik Crystal, I can extract the energy within and use it to maintain your body's surface temperature. Low power. Please use Kresnik Crystal to replenish energy reserves. Signs of physiological activity detected in the distance. It is highly likely to be your travel companion, Paimon. Go. Go now. Be reunited and sing together. May all the people be united as one. May all of life rejoice in unison. Approaching the target location, scanning for signs of life. Life forms detected. 2. Affirmative. However, that is not the reason for my confusion. According to my database, this location is a train station, meaning the number of life forms is unusually low. Real-time environmental data suggests that the train station may no longer be in use. But whatever the situation, please exercise caution.
Paimon! Who are you?
Don't worry. She's only sleeping. You must be the Traveler. She called your name repeatedly while attempting to battle her way through the blizzard. Newcomers to Snezhnaya struggle to adapt to the sheer cold at the best of times. Lately, even the locals are suffering, with a powerful monster having summoned a bitter snowstorm. You two must be very important to one another. You should take more care not to get separated.
Your eyes. Are you Conrian?
There are indeed some Conrians left in this world who survived the cataclysm. But I doubt that is news to you. It would be unwise to interrogate my identity here. Focus your attention on your travel companion instead. We will meet again very soon.
The unidentified subject has now left the area. He appears to be an individual of great significance, but my search has yielded no relevant data. I will try searching the database again. Against the odds, your companion is safe and sound. The other person even left a blanket for her.
Traveler! Oh, thank goodness you're okay. Paimon was so
It's okay. Take it easy. Are you feeling alright?
Pretty much the same as when we first got to Snezhnaya. Paimon must have got a cold. She was feeling so faint. She just couldn't keep going any longer. So she had to lie down and sleep it off. Wait, where did the jester go? Yep, the director of the Fatui. The Jester Piero. So, you met him?
The Jester must know everything about the Tsaritsa's plans. But there's no way he'd tell me just like that. We might well have ended up clashing. Well, he was right about one thing. Right now, the most important thing for me is to take care of Paimon while she's unwell.
He had no intention of explaining his motives, and he left in something of a hurry.
Hey! What the? Who is that? It looks like half a pair of goggles. How amazing! A self-aware, talking pair of goggles!
Snezhnaya was once the land of the Fae. There are many ancient creations here that I'm sure would broaden your mind further still. Mind you, my database is also expanding as we speak. You must be a rare creature yourself.
Oh, wow! Well, thank you so much. You've earned yourself some of Paimon's favorite candy. Oh, but by the looks of it, you probably can't eat that, can you?
Goodwill detected. Instead of candy, perhaps I can suggest my preferred strategy. Please clean me regularly to keep me operating at peak efficiency.
Oh, that makes sense. Every pair of goggles needs wiping clean once in a while. Sure thing, mister. Anyway, back to the Jester for a second. Paimon's still confused about something. When he first showed up, he already knew Paimon's name. And he acted like he expected Paimon to know who he was, too. Paimon could tell that he was Conrian from his eyes. And he definitely seemed like someone pretty important. But beyond that, Paimon didn't know anything about him. It was only later, after he rescued Paimon from the snow, that he properly introduced himself. That's the only reason Paimon knows he was the Jester. Oh, seems unlikely. He ran into the snow following the sound of Paimon's voice, with a really anxious expression on his face. He didn't act like someone who knew she would be here in advance. And after bringing Paimon here, he just stared out at the snow. He didn't do anything to Paimon at all. In fact, he barely said anything. Wouldn't even answer any of Paimon's questions either. Paimon didn't feel unsafe around him, and he didn't seem to have any ulterior motives. For all we know, he might have just ignored Paimon's questions so she'd give up and go to sleep.
Please allow me to interrupt. Fatui and director are unfamiliar terms. May I ask for clarification?
Wait, you've seriously never heard of the Fatui? Oh, they're like the Tsaritsa's inner circle. Really powerful people. And the director is their boss.
Understood. Since they hold elite positions and serve their god directly, it stands to reason that they would conduct themselves with due decorum. I am inclined to agree with your assessment, Miss Paimon. I did not detect any ill will from the gentleman in question.
Sorry, I shouldn't have encouraged you to talk so much. Paimon, new plan. Let's get out of Snezhnaya for now. We can come back after the weather clears up and you're all better. The jester mentioned that this snowstorm, being the work of a monster, is worse than most. Even if we made it to Snezhnagrad, we'd still have to wait out the storm before we could do any exploring.
Oh, well, it's really nice of you to look out for Paimon, but she doesn't want to hold you back. We were really psyched up for this journey when we first set off. Just think of all the burning questions we have. If we turn back now, who knows how long it'll take before we finally get answers.
Further information is required regarding the monster situation. But objectively speaking, there is another, more pressing issue at hand. At this point, we have traveled a significant distance into the blizzard. Were we to turn back now, the road would be extremely treacherous, especially since we would need to travel on foot. If, however, we continue onward, there may be a better solution. Do you remember what I said as we neared this location? I told you that this is a train station. While it has evidently fallen into disuse for unknown reasons, the tracks remain intact. We can break through the blizzard and forge ahead by driving a train. That is the Snezhnayan way. There is a small town up ahead, which would be the perfect place for Miss Paimon to rest and recover.
Paimon thinks Goggles here makes a great point. Let's do that! Oh, come on. Don't worry. Think of all the traveling we've done so far. When has Paimon ever gotten sick before? Practically never. 'Cause she's in great shape. Sure, she's a little tired right now, but it's sure to clear up on its own.
Affirmative. Should you ever need my assistance during your future adventures, please call for the Eye of Grey whenever you wish. Otherwise, I will remain silent to avoid causing any unnecessary distraction. Now, please follow me to the train tracks. Please confirm when you are ready to depart. Heading north from here, we will soon arrive at... Wait, there's an error message. Could not detect clear tracks.
What exactly does clear mean?
Brace for impact, friends! Preparing to enter impromptu flight mode. How strange. Not only was the station's status different from my records, but even the railroads and the terrain itself have changed substantially.
Yeah. Thanks to your quick reflexes.
My sincere apologies for putting you in danger. I'm afraid I'm as confused by all this as you are. Agreed. This is likely a consequence of outdated railroad data. The discrepancies between the old data and present reality are far greater than I anticipated. Fortunately, our crash landing has at least brought us much closer to the town. According to the data, anyway.
Your data had better be right this time.
I can assure you, it certainly is. Please look this way, and you will see a Kresnik's torch. It seems our ill-fated train ride was a blessing in disguise. We have taken the shortest possible route. Rest assured that I will take user preferences into account next time I plan a route. Next time, I will get it right.
Excuse me, is there an inn nearby?
I'm sorry, but they've all closed.
Sorry to interrupt. We're looking for a place to stay.
I can't even afford to warm my own house, let alone run a business.
Excuse us. Is there anywhere we can stay around these parts?
I'm afraid not. You'll have to try your luck somewhere else.
All we can do is wait for the next shipment of Kresnik Crystal to get here.
Hi there. Do you know if there are any inns still taking guests in this town?
Doubt it. They're probably all closed. No one has enough Kresnik Crystal to heat their own homes, let alone a business.
Oh, what a bummer.
I clocked you a while back. You adventurers or something? We don't get many tourists in inland Snezhnaya these days.
Why is that? Because of the snowstorm?
In part. But the bigger reason's Project Stuzha. Since it's Her Majesty's will, we have to put up with it whether we like it or not. Oh, sorry. I assumed it was common knowledge by now. Basically, the Tsaritsa is planning something big. Something that requires an enormous amount of energy. Even if they used all the surplus Kresnik Crystal in Snezhnaya, it still wouldn't be enough to meet demand. So, the Vecha passed a resolution requiring all factories and households to reduce their energy consumption. The policy has thus been charmingly named Project Stuzha, meaning bitter cold.
Bitter cold? So, like, it's gonna be a cold winter, folks? You're all gonna have to find a way to get through it? That kind of idea?
Pretty much. When you're broke, you scrimp and save. When it's cold, you huddle together for warmth. There's always a way to stretch things out to make ends meet. Trouble is, if you stretch someone out like an elastic band for too long, who knows if they can ever bounce back. You know what? Come with me and see for yourself.
Can you please explain to me why the price of Kresnik Crystal has gone up by 1/3 again? Even as our purchase quota has gone down. You only come here twice a month. This won't even last us a week.
The supply and pricing of Kresnik Crystal are based on current production volumes and price data. We Fatui are only responsible for delivery and security. I'm not in a position to explain to you how the figures are calculated, but I assure you, they are as fair and reasonable as possible.
Oh, so our lives mean nothing to you? How can you expect anyone to survive a single night in this weather without heating?
Since you insist on making me repeat myself every single visit, I will remind you again. There is no monopoly on the trade of Kresnik Crystal. You are free to purchase the shortfall from elsewhere on the market.
What market? Nobody else is selling! And when they do, they charge 8 times the normal rate! It's robbery is what it is!
Which is why the Snezhnaya Veche passed a resolution to support border communities, without which you wouldn't even be able to buy crystal from us to begin with. So if you're here just to argue, move aside and let the next person in line come forward. Everyone's feeling the cold here.
You! All right, everyone, let's calm down for a second. A few words, if I may. We're all subjects of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, and I'm sure every one of us is dedicated to her great cause. We all know how cold it is, and the more it snows, the harder life gets. Everyone's struggling already. Let's not make things even more difficult for each other.
But Liaison Shishkin, there's clearly something wrong with this quota. I have a family in Marepasak who tell me they can buy at least double our crystal allotment.
Oh, believe you me, I had the same reaction when I first saw the numbers. Couldn't believe what I was reading. I even wrote a letter to confirm the true figures, but I'm afraid the quota really is as low as you've been advised. Still, you must understand that calculating these energy quotas is a complicated balancing act. They have to factor in population, town size, industrial application. Our top priority must be to keep the largest Kresnik's torch burning continuously. Only then can we sell the remaining crystal for household use, and in doing so, we must make sure that everyone is treated fairly. As our Fatui comrades said, they are only responsible for delivering the goods. They need to keep accurate records, and they do not have any authority to modify the rates or quotas.
That's right. Our duty is to do things by the book.
Tell you what, listen. I know how anxious and upset everyone is. As a matter of fact, I was just discussing it with the mayor. What we can do is open the lower combustion chamber of the Kresnik's torch to the public. You can come to me directly to register, and I will allocate time slots accordingly. I can't guarantee there'll be ample energy for household use, but we can at least make sure you'll be able to boil water and cook food each day. Let's hang in there and make this work together, all right?
Fine. I don't see any alternative.
So, this is Project Stuja in action, huh? Oh, no wonder nothing's open for business. People are...
You were looking for an inn, right? For your, Fae friend?
Oh, Paimon's not a Fae. Just Paimon. She must have caught a cold or something. We only just got to Snezhnaya, and we're still getting used to the climate.
I have a small place in Sratomaros. I don't stay there very often, though, so it's pretty basic. But if you're not picky, you're welcome to rest there for now. It's not much, but I've got blankets and a warm fire.
Are you sure? Oh, that's really kind of you.
All right, then. This way.
Oh, so cozy and warm. Paimon's getting nice and toasty. Oh, wait. Paimon only introduced herself so far, didn't she? This is Paimon's best friend, the Traveler.
Good to meet you. I'm Alosha. Most travelers find the Snezhnayan climate to be a shock to the system at first. But as long as you keep yourself warm, you should be fine. Still, you should keep an eye on your condition. When people are too quick to dismiss a cold, it can easily end up turning into something more serious.
Don't say that. Paimon's too young for chronic health issues.
They aren't in town right now, and they won't be back anytime soon. The train station has been closed ever since these power shortages began. I do a lot of hunting, so I spend most of my time exposed to the elements. But even the animals wouldn't survive long in a storm like this, let alone a hunter. Nothing to do but sit tight in town until the weather improves. I get that you're in a hurry, but even if the station were open, that doesn't mean there'd be any trains. We could end up stuck here for a long time, I'm afraid. What? Your own train? Wait, hold on. That train? The one that suddenly fell out of the sky and crash-landed on the ice?
Oh, we got lucky and found it in a cave. Oh, then our luck ran out and we had a little accident.
Pretty crazy for a random find in the mountains. Well, as long as your train's good to roll, you might get to Snezhnaya after all. I've been doing some digging recently. Turns out, the real reason for the current energy crisis in Stratomeros is that some of the supply is being seized for a private stockpile. But to expose what's going on, I need to catch them in the act. So, I'm heading off to catch a rabbit.
Huh? Wait, a rabbit stole the crystal?
It's a figure of speech. Real rabbits couldn't pull this off. They'd prefer carrots to Kresnik Crystal anyway. Shishkin, Mr. Positive Attitude, let's all get along now, shall we?
Him? Really? Paimon never would have guessed.
Huh? You're coming with?
Huh. Oh, okay then. Just give Paimon a second to get ready. Alright. Guess there's no point pushing myself. Paimon will stay here and hold the fort then. Be careful, you two.
Oh yeah, there's one more introduction to do. Tagarin, get in here.
Oh, a doggy. Oh, angry doggy. Oh, Tagarin doesn't like being petted then.
He likes to think he's above that kind of thing. He's my hunting partner, so he'll be joining us when we head out. Carrots aside, we'll need to stay completely undetected. We can't risk spooking our rabbit, or there's no telling which burrow he'll scurry back into. First, we need to find a way into the train station and see if we can find any real freight data. Shishkin's figures can't be trusted. Then, we get to Garin to catch a scent and find out which way the crystal went. What are you eating?
Oh, check it out. When you're all out of carrots, try jerky. Good doggy. Good doggy.
A fellow dog lover, huh?
Yup. And rabbit lover. Carrots are great too, you know.
Good to know. Eat up, Tagarin. We got a lot of work to do. Wait. Nice work, Tagarin. Come on, we'll go around. This way. We'll enter from the upper floor. There we go. A freight list. Straight from the Fatui. So Shishkin won't have had the chance to doctor the figures. Looks as new as the day it was printed. I guess no one bothers reading these unless they have ulterior motives. Yeah, this is all we need. Come on, let's get out of here, then go track down the Crystal. Tugarin's a keen hunter, and catching rabbits is his specialty. But if he picks up the scent of Crystal somewhere and there's no stove around, that's how we know something's up. This must be the rabbit's warren. Good job, boy. Sure enough, there's a tunnel. You stay here and keep watch. I'm gonna take a look inside.
Thanks for looking out for us. Things are getting tougher by the day.
No need to thank me. It's my pleasure. Sure as Her Majesty the Tsaritsa watching over us, every sacrifice will be worthwhile. Let's grit our teeth until the blizzard passes. These days of hardship will be over soon.
Maybe for everyone else, Liaison Shishkin. But for you, the hard times have only just begun.
Huh? Who are you? What's the matter?
I just had a question for you. Why, when times are as tough as this, would someone hoard more Kresnik Crystal than they could ever use? All the crates here are from the most recent shipment, but they weren't brought here for sale. Instead, they were secretly stashed away. Would you be able to shed any light on the situation, Mr. Shishkin?
Me? Why, I have no idea. But look at how much there is! It's quite a godsend. Now there will be plenty to go around.
This godsend was found in a cellar adjacent to your residence following a tip from Mr. Alosha. And this is only a fraction of what we found down there. We're still taking a full inventory. The official figures will be finalized shortly. I've always been grateful for your efforts to mediate between us and the townspeople of Sretomaros. But now, Mr. Shishkin, it appears you were the source of the conflict all along.
How could you do this to us?
We trusted you to have our backs. You've been lying to us this whole time?
Hey, I owe you all an apology. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. This isn't who I am. Please believe me, this was a one-time mistake that I will never repeat. We all know how difficult life has been since Project Stuja came into force. Energy is an increasingly scarce resource. People everywhere are getting desperate. But some places have been hit harder than others. I grew up in Alatir, a small village with no train station. Deliveries of Kresnik Crystal have ceased there entirely. If nothing is done, they're all going to freeze to death. You know as well as I do how downright impossible it is to buy Crystal these days. The thought of my poor mother and father, with no one to help them, I felt so afraid. I watched as energy grew scarcer by the week, all the while knowing that their lives were at risk. Then one day, I looked at the Crystal shipment in front of me, and a terrible, selfish thought entered my mind. Looks like I'm just not cut out to be a criminal. I'm so sorry. Once the Fatui have finished their count, you'll see that the numbers match their waybill. I have the official Snezhnayan quotas here. Anyone who has already purchased energy, please make your way over here to correct your transactions. I'll make a batch purchase of Crystal worth 3 months' salary for you all to use free of charge. As for Alatir, I'll think of something else.
You don't have to go that far.
Yeah, owning up to your mistake is enough for me. You've done plenty of good for the community in the past. I'm not looking for a handout.
Drop the act. You claim this was a one-time mistake, but the real reason there's only 1 shipment's worth of stolen Crystal in your basement is that you have an accomplice.
Reporting in, sir. We've conducted a full search of the mayor's house. As expected, we found many crates full of Crystal, half of which were still in their original shipping containers.
This wasn't your first time at all. You've been colluding with the mayor of Stratomeros for a long time now. The train station's currently out of service, but it does open for a short window every time there's an energy delivery. And every time a train pulls in, you're there on site to take inventory and oversee the workers unloading the cargo. The mayor handpicks said workers. Per his instructions, they transport the Crystal by tunnel at night to the mayor's house, and he sells it out of town. But since he can't get the goods out of town by train, he had to arrange an alternative method of transportation. This meant slower sales, which gave me plenty of opportunity to catch him in the act.
Wait, the mayor's involved in this too?
Preposterous. What proof do you have of any of this?
Basic math. I've spent a lot of time lately counting carriages as the snowstorm rages.
Counting carriages? What?
The energy consumed by a train depends on its total weight. And since energy is a limited resource right now, it's fair to assume that every carriage is packed full. So, if we take the energy required for the Kresnik's torch, add the sales figures you provided, then compare that figure to the train's theoretical cargo capacity, guess what? The numbers never match. It's always off by 1 or 2 carriages worth. This time, you set a new record. 3 carriages missing.
You mean to tell me that you sat around outside, counting carriages, in this weather?
I'm a hunter. I have 2 options. Hunt or starve.
Well, I've heard enough. The evidence speaks for itself. Take Shishkin and the mayor into custody and escort them back to Snezhnagrad.
You cocky little brat! Ruining my business! Just you wait.
Yeah, something felt off, so I just followed my gut. Math isn't my strong suit, though. I'm lucky my dad made me learn enough to get by, but All this number crunching was a million times harder than the aim and fire work I'm used to.
Thank you for your assistance. You're a brave lad. Shishkin was quite the cunning criminal, as I'm sure you can tell. He did all of this right under our noses, and we never suspected a thing.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. He had everyone fooled.
Even with that sob story he fed us. He was probably trying to keep the mayor out of it, not just mask his own motives. Without the compelling case you put together, even I might have fallen for it. Alosha, was it? Tell me, are you really a hunter?
We can go find some wild animals if you want. I'll fire off a couple of shots, and you'll see whether I'm the real deal.
I didn't mean to cast suspicion on your identity. It's just... well, I'm sure you've heard of the Rokot. Recently, they've been recruiting people with your kind of talent. They hide in plain sight under false identities, working against Project Stuzha, sometimes directly opposing the Tsaritsa herself. They aren't a violent organization, and their goal is to improve the lives of the common folk. But still, as a member of the Fatui, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't keep tabs on them.
First I've heard of this. I don't really keep up with what goes on in the city. All I know is, people who don't mind their own business in the city end up paranoid about everything. As for me, I just couldn't stand Shishkin. I'm from Alatir myself, and I can tell you, nobody's lived there in years. Why would an abandoned village need Crystal? Of course, no one really cares about the fate of that place. I'm guessing today is the first you've heard of it.
I see. It does sound quite tragic. Really. Well, thanks again for your assistance, and your friend here too. I will report this incident to Snezhnaya. The Fatui will take over energy distribution until new officials are appointed. We'll also ensure that the train station resumes normal service as soon as possible. Looks like it's my turn to brush up on math now. I never liked it as a kid either.
Don't mention it. Isn't the soldier overseeing the delivery supposed to verify the quantity of the goods? Was he just careless? Or was he being paid off too? Who knows? Excuse me. I'll take a share of Kresnik Crystal too. Thanks. I need to take a detour before we head back. There's someone I have to deliver this crystal to. Hang tight for a moment. This old lady, she doesn't really know who's who anymore.
Oh, grandson. It's so cold today. You must be freezing.
Ma'am, it's me, Alosha.
Alosha? Alosha who?
You know me. I came by earlier today. Cleaned the ashes out of your stove, gave you some warmer bedding, and washed your back.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Now, how often do I get to see my grandson? Come on, take a seat and relax while I fix you something to eat.
It's okay. You just rest. I'm fine.
Oh, you. It's nice to come and visit your old granny once in a while, isn't it? Sretomaros, a good town. All sorts of things to do and people to meet. And the local officials are good to us. Sit down, come on, take a seat. I still have some fruit left. Let me get it for you.
Please, don't get up on my account. You need to rest. Where's the fruit?
Right under the basket by the door. Or maybe it was on the bedside cabinet. Well, grandson dear, do you like it?
Very much, ma'am. It's delicious.
Good, good. Wonderful.
You don't need to save any more for me next time, all right? Fresh fruit is hard to come by at the moment. You should eat it as soon as you get it.
Oh, I don't need it. I'm fine. But if you like it, come back for some more soon.
Some kind soul must have given these to her. But she always saves the nicer things for special occasions. I met her at the market back before her health began declining. She was a lovely old lady. We're from the same hometown. Not many people have heard of Alatir. And if they have, it's usually for all the wrong reasons. There's a gang of highwaymen that came from there. Now that it's an abandoned village, it's rare to find anyone who shares fond memories of our hometown. So after we got talking and realized we were from the same place, we decided to keep in touch by letter. I first learned of Stratomoros's energy supply problems from a passing comment in one of her letters. Then, after her health went downhill, I started visiting more often to check in on her. The town's been in decline for a while now, but because of her memory problems, she thinks of it as the bustling, prosperous Stratomoros still in its heyday. That said, I kinda appreciate her optimism. There's not much of it going around in this world of ice and snow. It's fine. Everyone grows old. In Snezhnaya, some people believe that in your final moments, you'll sense a familiar presence by your side. You turn to look at them, but their face is blurry. So you focus hard, trying to make out who it is. And when you finally see their face, the Grim Reaper reaches out and takes your life. She still calls me grandson, though. So at least I'm not a blurry face in her world just yet. Come on, let's get back and see how Paimon's doing.
Paimon, we're back. Are you feeling any better?
Yep. Paimon's not cold anymore. But she's still a little dizzy. Flying probably isn't a good idea right now. Paimon might lose her balance. But Paimon's sure she'll be fine. It's probably just from getting hit on the head by that pile of snow when we first arrived in Snezhnaya.
Her complexion's looking much better. Let's keep an eye on her.
Sure. But enough about that. How did everything go on your end? Are you all set? Did you have any trouble?
I'll explain. It's a bit of a long story.
Jeez. You guys got pretty busy. Sounds like the liaison officer and the mayor were running quite an operation. Good riddance to both of them. It's a good thing you managed to catch them. So, you said the train station will open again soon, right? And everyone has enough crystal now?
Yeah. Well, enough to survive at least. Project Stuzha isn't going away anytime soon. People will still have to scrimp and save to make ends meet. Don't know. The goal of Project Stuzha is to gather energy for the Tsaritsa, but no one knows where that energy's going. It's never been made public. The thing is, we were told that the project would only last for 6 months, but time and time again, they keep extending it.
Extending it? Does that mean the Tsaritsa's plan isn't going very smoothly?
That's what everyone suspects. In principle, any proposed extension needs to pass by majority vote in the Snezhnaya Veche. But even though opposition has been growing, any detractors end up caving in to political pressure from the rooster, Pulcinella. He's the chair of the Snezhnaya Veche and a key figure in the voting process. He has the backing of many powerful and influential people.
How come the Fatui are picking on ordinary people even here in Snezhnaya?
I don't see it like that. Fundamentally, the Fatui will always think and act in the Tsaritsa's interests. But that doesn't mean they don't care about the plight of the common folk. The only reason Sratomro still receives crystal shipments is because of a relief proposal put forward by the rooster himself. Then there's the Fatui soldiers providing support in every corner of the nation. Even the Northland Bank provided some mora for disaster relief, and they're as conservative and indifferent as they come. It's just that the rich and powerful in their fancy palaces live in a completely different world from us. There's always going to be some conflict when those worlds collide. Yeah, well, even though we all believe in Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, there are still many differences of opinion on how best to tackle the big issues of the day. Regular folk don't have an easy way of getting their voices heard in Snezhnaya, while the rich and powerful are either unwilling or afraid to speak out for all sorts of complicated reasons. The Rokad provides the disaffected with false identities and an outlet to vent their frustrations. Of course, an organization like that exists in a gray area. The moment the Veche think they've crossed a line, there's sure to be a crackdown. But so far, they've been doing their best to help the common folk. Like us, don't you mean? You didn't hesitate to join in. You're not new to this, I can tell.
That's because we're adventurers. It's our job to help people out with commissions and get to the bottom of things.
Sounds like we're going to get along. So, what's your business in Snezhnaya? Aside from taking your friend to see a doctor, of course.
I want to meet the Tsaritsa. It's complicated. I've had run-ins with many of the Harbingers along the way, and I really need to know what the Tsaritsa is up to. Her ultimate goal, what the Gnosis mean in all of this. Since I've made it this far in my journey, I have to find the truth, whatever it takes.
Wait, so... no way. Are you who I think you are?
Sounds like you've heard of us then. We're getting more famous by the day.
I didn't realize I was in the company of giants. Honestly, we're all as curious as you are about what the Tsaritsa's planning, and why it has to involve us freezing to death in the snow. But getting in the same room as her won't be easy. The common folk aren't permitted to meet her at the best of times, and right now, she's probably not even in Snezhnaya. Word is, she's heading east on a campaign to slay a monster. Yeah, so you've heard of it. A wild, unpredictable monster with the power to summon snowstorms. It also absorbs everything around it into its body, so it's growing constantly. Now, it's so big that the Tsaritsa has deemed it the #1 threat. Luckily, as it grew, it became increasingly less mobile, so it doesn't pose an immediate threat to this town or to Snezhnaya. I'm sure that Tsaritsa and her personal guard, the Druzhna, won't have any trouble defeating the creature between them. It's just a question of how long it'll take. Suffice to say, you won't be seeing her anytime soon. You'll have to wait until she gets back. Fair. Well, the Fatui will be taking over management of the train station for the time being. Things should be up and running by tomorrow. Once it's open, we can see about getting your train towed to the station.
Whoa! That's That'd take a lot of manpower. Are you sure we can talk them into it?
The Fatui aren't exactly spotless in this whole mess. Plus, we helped them out. Should be easy enough to negotiate. As far as I know, all the paperwork is dealt with upon manufacture. I've never seen anyone check it, so I wouldn't worry. Having a train makes everything much easier. We'll reach Snezhnaya in no time. I need to head there myself anyway. Got some game to trade for Mora. I know a good doctor in the city. I'll introduce you when we get there.
Oh, thanks so much. Let's get a good night's sleep ahead of our big trip tomorrow.
Drive carefully, all right? You don't want to end up in this situation again. Also, I don't think I've seen a train like this before. Is it a new model or something? Not a fan of small talk, are you? Anyway, take this. It's an up-to-date map of the Snezhnayan rail network. All the track switching is automated, so as long as the train's moving, you don't need to worry about collisions or anything. We'll leave you to examine the train's conditions yourselves. Fingers crossed nothing's broken. I doubt Sratomaros has any engineers with experience working on this model.
Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks for everything.
All right then. Have a safe journey. And make sure to check everything's working before you set off.
Not to worry. Opportunity Alright. Looks like our destination settings have been applied. Let's give this thing a final once-over and then head out. Goggles, your time to shine.
Affirmative. Running vehicle diagnostics.
What's this?
Engine, green. Wheels, green. Frame, minor damage, but no impact on function. Diagnostics complete. All systems nominal.
Neat! Huh. Paimon still can't get over the fact that you just found this tech lying around in a random cave.
I've lived in Snezhnaya my whole life, and I've never heard of an interactive, talking train autopilot.
Strictly speaking, I wasn't designed purely to drive trains, though I doubt you have any interest in navigating the practically unreadable operator's manual yourself. All configurations are complete. Should you require any further assistance, please call for the Eye of Grey.
Away we go! Ooh, nope. Paimon's gonna find a warmer seat. Huh? What's going on?
Oh no.
What is this place? Traveler, are you okay? Paimon's still airborne, but it feels like swimming through thick, gloopy water. It's horrible!
Just our luck. Of all the things that could have gone wrong.
Halosha, you're Snezhnayan, right? Any idea what the heck this place is?
It's called the Shadow Realm. A place where no wind blows, no light shines, and no elemental energy flows. Even time itself doesn't exist here. It's a world where everything seems to come to a standstill. I've only seen it a few times before, and this is my first time inside. It's a dangerous place. Most people who get sucked into the Shadow Realm are never seen again. And the few who do make it back, they're never quite the same.
Huh? Then what the heck do we do now? Oh, maybe Goggles knows something. Goggles? Great! Now we're done for!
Hold it together. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I heard a story once about the world of shadows. If it's true, there's a way to escape. We just need to find the exit. Come on, let's explore.
Look at these Fatui! It's like they've lost their minds!
Their shadows have been devoured. They're no longer amongst the living. I can't channel elemental energy here, but I have a few gadgets that still work.
Wait! What's that blue thing? Is that... Goggles?
Guess we'd better find a way over.
Ready to draw blood.
Goggles!
Hello. I am glad to see the three of you safe and sound.
For now, at least. But things aren't looking too good.
Correct. We are now inside what is known as the Shadow Realm, the darkest space in the shell, where even the Most High is loath to cast its gaze. Time and space hold no meaning here. It intersects with the world of the Light Realm only rarely, like an air bubble that rises to the water's surface. We must leave this place before it sinks back down into the depths once more.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Yes. In fact, the very purpose of my creation was likely to... from the Shadow Realm. It appears that key data is currently inaccessible, but now is not the time to resolve that problem. I have marked the exit to the Shadow Realm for your convenience. In addition, I have prepared some equipment to aid you as you traverse the Shadow Realm, Traveler. It may well be one of my core functions. Scan complete. Construction in progress. Activation code? We once peered into the past from the ruins of the Shadows. This is what remains of the Golden City, Hyperborea. Now go. Arm yourselves with weapons of the spirit. Bring down the walls of the stronghold, and extinguish the flaming arrows of the wicked.
Is this a gun?
In the Shadow Realm, where humans cannot channel the elements, there once was one who, after much research and many attempts, found this to be the most effective means of attack. Let's go. We don't have much time. When you encounter small obstacles, you can simply clamber over them. You can slide to navigate through low, narrow tunnels. Obstruction ahead. You may be able to use the explosives nearby. Shoot the explosives to... Since elemental energy is... For long-range targets, try using the scope to line up your shot. Many hostile units approaching. I suggest a new strategy. Take cover, and pick them off one by one.
It's over.
Yeah. We are under heavy fire. I suggest taking cover to avoid enemy attacks, then waiting for a suitable moment to counterattack. More enemies detected. Try attacking with the newly unlocked Assault function.
State number 2. Mind the rhythm.
Fall back. No, it's over.
Time to catch my breath.
Aim at the freeze mark and pull the trigger to move using the rope.
Light him up! Reload!
Some supply points can restore a small amount of stamina. Press on.
Press the advantage. Taking cover. Where's the back?
Time to catch my breath.
You should be able to use the Prime Ice construct left here to cover long distances. I recommend using this grappling gun. Such devices were originally used to secure structures in the Shadow Realm. If you detach the connected hook, the grappling gun will automatically fire a rope to another nearby hook.
Okay. So, we just removed this hook, right?
State number 2. Charge!
Sprint at the prime ice launcher to reach high places with ease.
Charge!
Usable munitions detected. Frag crystal.
Frag out! I've been breached. Taking cover.
Time to catch my breath.
Where's the...
Try this! Demolition time!
Whoa, careful!
Shift your center of gravity and slide down.
Light him up!
How much longer is this gonna take?
The exit is right ahead. We are very close now. However...
It's like they're trying to keep us trapped here. That platform and the carriages are swarming with undead Fatui. Guess we gotta storm through.
You may find switching to assault mode makes your attacks more effective.
Change of tactics. Charge!
Time to catch my breath.
Try this!
Come on! We're almost there! Huh? Why is everything shaking so much?
Looks like the Shadow Realm is about to sink back down into the depths.
The exit is right here.
You mean this weird bubble thing? Wait, how exactly do we...
No time to think. We just gotta go for it. Looks like I was right. I can't believe the Shadow Realm manifested right on the railroad tracks. It's almost unheard of. Lucky we made it out. All thanks to you and that awesome gun.
Ah, so you have heard of the Golden City before?
Yeah, it came up a whole bunch in Nokrai. You're a pretty neat surprise in that sense, aren't you, Goggles? We had no idea they left cool gadgets like you behind.
Make no mistake, it was a team effort. For a first-time firearm user, your performance was quite outstanding, far beyond my expectations. As Alosha said, it is highly unusual for the Shadow Realm to manifest in a place like this, but we should still watch out for similar dangers ahead.
Oh, let's hope not. If anything else goes wrong with this trip, Paimon's gonna have train trauma for life.
The Shadow Realm can appear anywhere, not just on the railroad. I am simply advising that we take sensible precautions. Now, if you wish to further calibrate and upgrade your firearm, you may do so over there, provided you have the necessary components. Please take a moment to catch your breath while I repair the body of the train. Amongst other things, this will ensure Paimon is a little warmer while on board.
Oh, thanks, Goggles. You're a trusty train conductor. Well, maybe trusty isn't quite the right word, considering. Anyway, at least you get the job done.
Yes, of course. And just like the Eye of Grey, I am sure it will be a great asset to you in your future adventures. If not the trustiest, then it will at least get the job done.
Let's get some fresh air while the Eye of Grey fixes the train.
Yeah, sure. Paimon wants to forget all about the Shadow Realm. It was so creepy in there. Stretching her legs might help take her mind off things. It's so quiet here for a train station. Not a person in sight. Just abandoned houses. Huh? So much for repair? You've swapped our train out for a whole new model!
My plan was to restore the train to its original appearance per my records as quickly as possible. Now that the repairs are complete, the train offers optimized performance and a significantly improved trendiness level.
Huh. Didn't know trendiness was a parameter.
According to my calculations, parameterization is the most effective way for the Eye of Grey to understand trendiness.
Hyperborea, huh? I'm sure I've heard of that in a story somewhere. What an incredible little gadget you are. You might want to avoid looking down if you're afraid of heights.
No, it's not that. Paimon's just praying that we don't have yet another accident.
They say this mountain's the domain of a Snegovic lord. A lot of the Snegovic retreated there to live in seclusion, so it's a pretty mysterious place. You hear all kinds of stories. Even the residents of the nearby town of Svietlolaidovka steer clear of the summit, and they make a living off of harvesting prime ice. Look, Snezhnagrad's just up ahead. Here we are. Welcome to Snezhnagrad train station, the biggest transport hub in the nation.
Wow! It's so majestic! Just flying from one side to the other would probably leave Paimon out of breath!
It's built for maximum efficiency, but yes, transferring trains here can be a little tiring. In the future, you can use this train station to travel anywhere you want in Snezhnaya. For now, though, come with me. Let's get Paimon checked out. This way. There's a lift car that goes straight to Sapoliarny.
The latest, most explosive news! Look! Look! They have really funny-looking heads! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkudlak and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovic amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now!
To the left is the market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolyevsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible! Snezhnagrad is stunning! Seeing it with our own eyes makes all the trouble we went through to get here worth it!
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. The prices here are crazy. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time. This way will take us to Podvorye restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be stunningly expensive too?
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way. Not a chance Paimon's staying anywhere like that. Maybe we can split the cost of the room between us? Paimon still has some savings left. Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry, you'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Sapoliarni Palace, which serves as the Tsaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters. The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions factory known as the Armory Palace, producing a constant supply of all kinds of equipment for the Fatui. A lot of important research happens there too. And over there is the Snezhnaya Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions. These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah, they probably have super strict security. We're not looking for trouble right now.
The downtown area is near the center of Sapoliarni. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the Northland Bank, which is over this way. Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
No one practices alchemy at Snezhnaya, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh, we'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient. Wait, how come there's one on the train if that's Snezhnayan too?
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Still, I wouldn't say the absence of alchemy makes life here any less convenient. Anyway... Finally, there's Zolny in that direction. It's mostly residential buildings and factories, but there's a few shops too. Worth a look around if you're interested. That's about it. You guys go ahead and get checked in while I track down my doctor friend.
Sounds good. Thanks for all the recommendations. It'll be good to get out of the cold wind. Paimon's starting to feel another headache coming on.
Podvorye restaurant is right this way.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. Honestly, she feels kind of bad for throwing a wrench in the works. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. But instead, we're stuck here waiting for a doctor. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million-more question is, what is this Tsaritsa planning? Everything else leads back to that. Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. Alosha said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know. Not word on the street type of info. Paimon can think of a few people who might be able to help us. But... Right! And when we left Nogcry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us which side we're on. So, it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Tsaritsa's grand plan. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Gloop-Off place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'll be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Sandrone? Or possibly Tartaglia. But it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in our lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nogcry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a Traveler and Paimon in there?
That's Alosha! Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're, Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say, I have a fairly eclectic range of expertise.
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human. Right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over, but as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me. Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm. This is the least I could do. See you around.
All right, time to find Child and see what he can tell me. flame!
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting with the Harbinger. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Honestly, it's such a waste of time asking when I already know what the answer's gonna be. Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If Child is unavailable, you'll have to go through the proper procedure. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point waiting any longer. Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their official duties. They tend not to stay in Glupov for extended periods. Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's his first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that he doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew, that was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Wait, where's Paimon? Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need. All right, then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and come to see this mystery guest for myself. Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a Harbinger, I have to lead by example. On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nosha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch up there. Your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why.
Flame!
I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnaya Vetcha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuzha. It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vetcha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liu's situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along, right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right? Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time. What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnaya Vetcha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room. Having a voice in the Vetcha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting, but since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me? Huh? Jealous? As if. Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Notcry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart? You... fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before, fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaitovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. Given how urgent this is, I'm sure she'll understand. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Pavoye restaurant. Find his room and watch it like a hawk until we get back. If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Naturally.
Blazing!
They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. I'll evacuate the people around here as I go. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave, now. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnaya. Well, I'm Odette. Good to meet you.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is its location. Let's go. Every second counts. Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent. Let's begin. Harida. Crystalline Adagio.
Stay back!
Bellowing thunder!
Witness the snow swan's grace.
Yeah.
I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move. Pirouette. Crystalline Adagio.
What? Lightning flash!
Harida.
Here!
Waltz of the snowflakes. Together.
Time to ignite!
Oh, thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster fodder otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow this route out. He and I will stay behind to watch the rear.
Thank you. Come on, let's go. This way.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat. Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place. There's something unusual about it. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run! Thanks. Let's get out of here. Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name. Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Koraylievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa. On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... Never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me a little longer without Polonia's help. But the outcome is the same, of course. Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way. All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time, since it involves a mechanical malfunction. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget, then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how smoothly it goes. Yup, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. There's no immediate threat to life, but still, it just feels like there should be a better way.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnograd. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for secondhand swords. if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real Big Shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Laidovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuzha, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuzha. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse him? What does he mean, refuse to stand up for ordinary people?
Oh my gosh. How does he dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where he's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuzha seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know, but I promise it's not as black and white as it seems. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuzha outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty the Tsaritsa and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Sviatlo-Laidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vetcha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned his name so far, and no details of his experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right, I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned Traveler, who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne, in which the Traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry, I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier Restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Poor thing. Reminds me of when Tonya was little. She really felt the cold back then. Used to get ill all the time. I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. Whenever someone came to visit her, she'd greet them with a smile and would never complain. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can recover in peace.
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov anyway.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right. I have things to do. Things I want to do. And things I ought to do. To start with, I should ask Alosha if he knows any way to help Svietlo Lydovka.